Hello, anybody watching? My name is Dylan and I like to build houses in The Sims 4. Today I am bringing you 4347 Wisteria Lane, home of Ida Greenberg in the TV show Desperate Housewives. As far as I know, this will be my last Wisteria Lane house on this channel in this series. I've built 10 Wisteria Lane houses over the course of almost a year, and I think this will be the last one. The rest of the houses in the TV show, there are a few more, but they're not shown. They're not actually shown in the TV show. There aren't any interior shots of the other houses. I don't really think any of the other houses even really show up on camera on the TV show, so there really isn't much of a point in creating any other one. In fact, even this one I would say is a little bit debatable on its relevancy in this series, because there aren't any interior shots of this house in the TV show. There's only exterior shots, and that's because this house, like many of the other ones, especially the ones that weren't shown on camera over the course of the TV show, this house is just a shell, so there isn't any interior in this house. It's just kind of like a blank shell type of house, but it is super cute, and I really do like the way that this house turned out in The Sims 4. I think it really does fit The Sims 4 aesthetic, especially in like Willow Creek or Newcrest or anything like that. In fact, I put this on the 20 by 15 lot in Newcrest, and so that means with this house and then the last house I did just a couple of weeks ago, that means there's 10 Wisteria Lane houses that you can download. You can find them on my gallery at Carl Dillinson, and you can download them and you can put them in your own game and basically have your own little set of Wisteria Lane houses if you want to play in them. Some of them are a little bit more detailed than the others. I would say this one is actually pretty detailed, despite there not actually being any interior shots of it in the TV show. With that though, please remember that because there are no shots, I had no point of reference. So I created the interior based on my own designs and my own thoughts on what the interior might look like. And so it has two full bathrooms and 3 bedrooms. So it's a pretty good size for what it is. I think the nickname for this house is apparently Big Blue. Not in the TV show itself, but just on Colonial Street in Hollywood. They do a lot of TV shows on that street, a lot of TV shows and a lot of movies, and this house has been known as Big Blue, I guess, because it is a pretty big house. I think I might have actually not made it to scale. I think the real life house would actually be a little bit bigger than what I've got here, and in fact, the shape of this house is a little bit different in the Sims 4 version that I've created here versus like the real life shell version that you can see on Colonial Street or Main Street in Hollywood. I did make a couple of changes because the lot size was small, and that meant that I had to just change a few things up in order to get the house to fit on the lot. If I tried to make the house look exactly how it was supposed to, as it's suggested in the TV show or on Colonial Street, there would be a couple of key differences, especially on the left side of the house. There's like a little bump out on the left side of the house that I decided to not really put in. It's one of those weird things that I think doesn't really translate all that well when it comes to taking a real life house and putting it in Sims 4. It's one of those things that just didn't quite work, so I decided to not put that little it's kind of like at an angle. It's like a weird it's like just like a little weird part of the house that I made look a little bit more conventional in this house, but I do think it works, and I think it's very pretty on the exterior. You'll see me do the landscaping in a little bit. There isn't really much landscaping in this house, or in the lot of this house, but I think that actually kind of works, because I think this house is supposed to be, my vibe from it is supposed to be an older an older house, maybe even one of the first houses that was ever put on the lane. And when that happens, a lot of times older houses, um, the building codes are usually different, and so you could get away with putting a larger house on a smaller lot, versus if you tried to do that in 2004 when the show started, or later, like 2010, or now in 2021. I don't think that would be to code to have such a small lot, such a big house on such a small lot, but I was just really kind of not really paying attention to anything, and I was just thinking, well, this house can have a small lot, and I'll just say it's because it's older and building restrictions were different back then, because, you know, I care about historical accuracy. Clearly, this house is meant to be a historically accurate house, obviously. I've built this house many times over the years in Sims 3 and Sims 4, and one of the things I noticed is just how difficult it is for me personally to make a good floor plan for this house. For some reason, the exterior shape of this house just does not really work for my set of skills. I don't know. It's always been a challenge for me making this house look good. I remember building it in Sims 3 probably 8 years ago for the first time, and it just did not work. The exterior looked fine, but the interior, I just could not figure out a floor plan because, you know, like I said, there are no interior shots of this house because this house isn't actually a house. So there's nothing for me to reference or look at, so I didn't know what the floor plan was supposed to look like. And so I don't even remember what I was trying to do back when I was building it in Sims 3, but I just remember having such difficulty with it. And then in Sims 4, it was kind of the same thing. I built this house a couple of times in Sims 4, and I really like the way that this one turned out, but previous buildings of it, you can find it on Mod The Sims and the Sims Resource, older versions of this house that I created, but I even had trouble with those ones as well. So I was very pleasantly surprised when I was able to put this house together, and also not only put it together, but actually be really happy with what I came up with. And like I said, there are 2 full bathrooms and 3 bedrooms in this house, so it's a little bit on the smaller side as far as some of my other Wisteria Lane houses go, but it actually does kind of pretty well fall in line with the last couple Wisteria Lane houses that I've done. For some reason, the last 4, or I guess this is the last 5, have all been a little bit on the smaller side. I think all of the houses in the last chunk of 5 that I've done, I think the maximum has been 4 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms, whereas the first set of 5, the 5 that were featured in my Wisteria Lane tour video, I think a lot of those houses had like at least 4 or 5 bedrooms and like 4 or 5 bathrooms. So it's kind of funny to me how those houses just coincidentally ended up bigger than these houses here. Although now that I think about it, it might not actually be all that coincidental, considering the first set of 5, all of those houses are pretty prominently featured in the TV show, like the interior shots of it. So I had a lot more point of reference for those houses, and I felt like I could kind of get away with a couple more things, so I put in a few extra bedrooms and a few extra bathrooms here and there in those houses. But with the last the last 5 houses that I've done now, these have all been houses that haven't really had much of a point of reference, so I've felt a little bit more restricted with what I can do, which you'd think it would kind of be the opposite, but it's not for me. For me, because there's less of a point of reference, I have no idea what to do. Therefore, I make them a little bit more smaller. I don't know. I hope that's okay. I think that's just kind of funny how it turned out that way. So like I said, this is the final home in the Wisteria Lane house series, and it's a little bit bittersweet, I feel like. I mean, I'm happy that I finally got through everything that I was planning on doing. In fact, I even added an extra house The last house that I did a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't even planning on doing that when I was thinking of this idea of building each house and uploading it to YouTube. But it is a little bit bittersweet to come to the end of it, because I just remember about this time last year thinking about doing this, and now here we are. Now the series is done, and I'm pretty okay with that, and I'm pretty happy with how most of the houses turned out. Once in a while I will go back into the houses in Sims 4 and think, well, maybe I should have changed this or added this or removed this or put this on a different lot even. But for the most part, I do like what I came up with in this Wisteria Lane series, and I hope you do too. If you want to download all these houses, like I've said over and over again, you can certainly find them on my gallery at Carl Dillinson. In fact, I just went onto my own gallery a couple of days ago and removed like probably almost 150 different houses from my gallery because I was just so sick of seeing them. And that includes a lot of older Wisteria Lane houses that I've done over the years. I think, like I've said 100 times on this channel, this is not the first time that I've built all the Wisteria Lane houses. This is just the first time that I've built them on camera. And so over the course of the last, 6 or 7 years since Sims 4 has been out, I have built a lot of the Wisteria Lane houses multiple times a year. In fact, I think I've built all of the Wisteria Lane houses, at least once a year since Sims 4 has been out. And so I had dozens of these houses on my gallery, even ones that I didn't even like. I would still just upload them and see if anyone would download them. And then I would use them as like a point of reference if I was going to build the house again. But the problem with that was a lot of people were going onto my gallery and still downloading all of these really old and, in my opinion, not very well made Wisteria Lane houses that I built from years and years ago, like 2015. And it was just making me a little bit frustrated because people were still going and downloading them, but they weren't really looking at the new stuff that I had on there, or the stuff that I have been uploading to YouTube. They haven't been looking at those houses. They've just been downloading the old 2015 Wisteria Lane houses. And let me tell you, all of those houses were base game only, which is great. But I didn't really know exactly what I was doing in The Sims 4 when I was building those houses. So I look back on those and I'm like, even though we had less options in The Sims 4 when the game first came out, I still could have built better. I could have built this house better back then if I had tried a little harder, and I didn't. And the fact that this is on my gallery and people are still downloading these houses after years just made me super frustrated. So, long story short, I went into my own gallery and deleted a lot of old houses. So you should be able to find this house pretty quickly if you type in 4347 on the gallery, or just look up my username, Carl Dillinson. You can find that, and a good chunk of other houses that I left on the gallery. My gallery is not completely empty by any stretch, but I do think I had probably close to 300 houses and households on my gallery up until earlier this week or late last week, and now I think I'm down to like 150 or 160. I just went through and I took a lot of stuff down. I took a lot of the stuff down that I felt it was okay to take it down, because a lot of those houses you can actually still find on my Mod The Sims page. If for some reason you want to find the old Wisteria Lane houses, they are still on my Mod The Sims page, and they're also still on the Sims resource. Although the ones that are on the Sims resource, I built those in 2019. So this is, at the very least, this is the third time I've built all of the Wisteria Lane houses, but I'm pretty sure it's the fourth or fifth actually. But the first time was in 2015, and I uploaded all of those to Mod The Sims. The second and third time was probably me just building them and just uploading them to the gallery and leaving it there. And then I went and rebuilt them again with all of the packs that I had since acquired in 2019. And I uploaded those ones to the Sims resource. And then in 2020, and now I guess 2021, I have rebuilt all of the Wisteria Lane houses and put them here on my gallery, and you can watch them here on YouTube. You can see what I did to build them. So you can see it actually took quite a bit of work to get through all these houses. It wasn't just a quick one and done like I was kind of expecting, to be honest. But long story short, find it on my gallery. Find these houses on my gallery. Go and download them. They're pretty. They're nice. They took a lot of time. So not only that, feel free to share them with your friends too. I mean, I would definitely appreciate that. Anybody who likes Wisteria Lane or just likes houses in general and wants to look at something that's pretty, look at the houses on my gallery. I cleaned it out for you. All the houses in this Wisteria Lane series, I intended for them to be put into Newcrest, so you should be able to download all of these houses and put them in Newcrest, but the only thing with that is the last house that I did, for some reason I'm not remembering the number of it, but the very last house I did is on the 30 by 30 lot, and so is Susan's house, 4353 Wisteria Lane, so there's a little bit of you'll have a little bit of a choice, I guess, if you want to download all of these houses and put them in the two little neighborhood sects that are part of Newcrest. You won't be able to have every single house. You won't be able to have all 10, simply because those two houses are put on the 30 by 30, which is a little bit of a shame. I don't really like that happened that way. I wasn't really intending to build the last house that I did, the Applewhite house or Bob and Lee's house. Until the last minute, I was like, oh, I'll just build it, and it fit best on the 30 by 30. So I'm a little bit sad that Wisteria Lane, if you want to have all the houses, you can't have them all in Newcrest, but I don't know, make a choice. You can definitely put this one. This one's on the smallest slot, the 20 by 15, so you can definitely put this one in Newcrest if you want. I didn't make any community lots for this Wisteria Lane series, but if you want to put community lots in, you can probably find ones. That's one thing that I'm not gonna do. I'm probably not very good at building community lots, so I won't be doing that, but you can at least have 9 out of the 10 houses in your Newcrest, which is great. We are going to be coming to the screenshots pretty quickly, so before we get to there, I just wanted to say a few weeks ago or a few days ago, I actually passed 300 subscribers on YouTube, which is crazy to me. I didn't think that was actually going to happen. When I first started doing these videos, I was really like, okay, maybe my sister will watch, maybe my friend will watch. I can just use this as practice and learn how to make videos at least a little bit and see how much work actually goes into making these houses, and it'll be fine. But I actually just passed 300 subscribers, and that is crazy to me. So I wanted to take a quick second here just to say thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. Thanks for following me on Twitter. Some people have. I just really, really appreciate that. And it's amazing kind of coming into this and not really realizing that there is this large and vast community of people who kind of do the same thing I do, where they're building sim houses or doing Sims content and uploading it to YouTube. And I've just met so many crazy people and nice people and fun people, and just thank you so much for 300 YouTube subscribers. I can't thank you enough. But anyway, here are the photos, so if you like what you see on my channel, do feel free to subscribe. I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe, but I will still love you even if you don't. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and I hope you had a happy new year. Bye-bye.